as a human being, you are similar. You get plugged in and suddenly something happens. So you must incorporate what happens. We liken the energy that runs through you to the electrical current that runs through the hairdryer, making it more than simply an object, making it a useful object. This is a very simple example, and it gives you an image of yourself. You can be switched on so that the current of life takes you to your purpose. It is essential that you understand your body and that you are not ashamed of what your body does. What you do with your body is another story, however. There is a grand dignity to the physical form. Be generous in your body. Be generous in your body, grace. If you are uncomfortable with what we are saying, then examine how much you love yourself and where dislike and shame of your physical body comes from. There is nothing wrong with the body. The modern concept of the Barbie doll as a perfected female form contributes to hatred of the female body if the body does not conform to that mould. All the images from the simplest toys to the most complex computers affect your perceptions about yourself. Often women who conform to the Barbie doll mould have to force and restrict themselves to duplicate the desire and approved shape, reducing their freedom of choice. The human body has all shapes and sizes and all kinds of expression. You can tell that variety is important on the planet by looking at the variety of faces. If you were all meant to be moulded into one kind, there would only be a limited number of faces that would be available as model types. For eons, you as a human being forgot who you were. You took on shame about your body and your body's functions. There has been little encouragement for you to acknowledge the very functions of your body. We often compare your use of your body to having a car, about which someone says, don't ever use the trunk. It is a really bad place. Don't open that trunk. Don't use it. Don't put anything in it. It's there, but you don't touch it. You see the analogy? It's ridiculous. Sex in 3D can provide the energy through which you can emerge to higher consciousness. It can lead to an essential part of your multidimensional development. Sometimes it's difficult to hear about sex because you hold on to judgment of traumatic events that you're ashamed of or that you feel bad about surrounding your sexuality. Everyone has something stored away concerning the sexual part of themselves. To a large degree, and breathe and hum the trauma away. Of the crossed fingers and breathe, integrate, surrender to the gracity of gravity, surrender to the divine healing intelligence of our electromagnetic field. So when it says sex in 3D, we don't think that means physical sex. We think that means utilising the sexual energy, because the second chakra is the sexual energy, and that's what gives us our strength, and that's the emotions. And that's why you have an amygdala hijacked and your emotions get taken over, and then you react and don't respond, or we react and respond. So when we're able to manage control of our emotions, and that's why we eat properly, that's why we eat good food, that's why we eat food for our soul. food for the moment, moderation. Everything's good in moderation. We need a bit of everything. But on the whole, plant-based diet's best. And then when you choose not to have any sex, you must realise to direct that energy elsewhere in the body. Otherwise you'll get a big second chakra. That means the second chakra, big legs is an out of balance first chakra, big stomach area is an out of balance second chakra, and big rib cage upwards is out of balance third chakra. Because your rib cage is yellow, your control house is what your rib cage, how you breathe is what controls everything else, and all physical manifestations and ailments all manifest from red, orange, yellow chakras. So if you're not having sex, you must understand to do that, otherwise you'll get too much energy, because there's too much energy is a problem and too little energy is a problem. It must be balanced. And polarity therapy, that's the electromagnetic field, the pluses and the minuses. We believe, we're not sure, but we learn this again, but one way tightens and one way loosens. Try it yourself. Move your wrist, move your arm, keep going one way. What happens to your body, and then what happens if you change it the other way? Yeah, so when we move our right arm right, clockwise, it gets tighter and our neck gets tighter as well, and our head back. So we put our head down and our stomach goes back and it goes right into our Boiling disc. When we move it forward, we loosen up. And there's a really good kinesiology yoga mudra you can do, which you can ask your body questions. You just got to be able to get to the question. It's all about the right question. All about the language that we use as the programming of our hardware, our mind, our subconscious. Okay, continue. Sex in 3D can provide the energy through which we can emerge to higher consciousness. It can lead to an essential part of our multidimensional development. Sometimes it is difficult to hear about sex because you hold on to judgment of traumatic events that we are ashamed of or that we feel bad about surrounding our sexuality. Everyone has something stored away concerning the sexual part of ourselves. To a large degree, there has been a plan to influence us to feel shame about our sexuality and our body. This has kept us from discovering our power, purpose, bliss and freedom. As our body takes on and integrates the new energy, memory will be awakened within us. Cosmic memories, as well as memories in this lifetime, offer an unfolding of who you have been in galactic history. It is important for you to have room to remember. Some of you think, oh well, I'll put some music on in the car and I'll drive someplace and practice remembering. Leave a space for memory to come into. Utilising nature is one of the best ways to get into touch with memory. Neurological pathway reconnections, backwards feet forward. Leave a space for memory to come into. Because space is the element that's needed first for all other elements to come into. Elemental breathing must share. Utilising nature is one of the best ways to get in touch with remembering. Sitting out in nature, watching nature, being idleness, being in the now and letting the now expand into the ongoing, spontaneous, synchronistic moment, the ever-expanding now. Nature teaches us through the calling of birds, the beat of butterfly wings, the symphony of crickets and frogs, the camel's bray and the smell of desert dust and fresh spring rain. All of these things trigger memories if you take the time to let the sounds, smells penetrate your physical being.